Hi, today I'm going to take you through the student section of the Nelson Decodable Readers digital platform. This will include how to upload students individually, bulk upload students, edit student profiles, view student reading history, as well as a couple of key extra features we've provided on the platform. The first thing we'll need to do is come to our homepage, which is cengage.com.au/primary. Click the login button, enter your email and password, click manage under your Nelson Decodable Readers digital subscription, and then click students on the left-hand side of the screen. The first thing we can look at is the search bar. This will allow you to locate or identify a particular student that you'd like to access in your subscription. You can also search for your students using the filters first name, last name, and class filters to identify. The next feature we want to go through is adding students both individually and as a bulk upload. This can be done on the right-hand side of the screen at the Add Student tab. Before proceeding, please be aware of how many licenses are available with your subscription. And if you do not have enough licenses available, you'll need to purchase additional ones and click the Add License button and go through that process. There is also an additional video that shows you how to do so. Click the Add Student and Add New Student to upload an individual student that requires access. Anything with an asterisk next to it is mandatory or required. Date of birth, gender, year level, English as an additional language or dialect are not mandatory. As you can see, the username is generated automatically by the system, which allows for no double ups or errors to occur. In the password section, it is a minimum of 4 characters, whether that be letters, numbers, or special characters. The student class, you can add the student to a specific class if you like, or you can decide to add that student later. Click add, and then you'll be notified that that student has been successfully added to your school subscription. If you have made an error or would like to edit that student's profile, you can click the pen under actions next to their name and update accordingly. You will notice that the username has been grayed out and unable to be edited. Again, this ensures that no errors or issues occur with that student's profile moving forward. Passwords can be changed, but still a minimum of 4 characters are required. The next feature we're going to look at is bulk uploading students. This is ideally done at the beginning of the school year, at the beginning of subscription, or if you'd like to add a new classroom to your school. To bulk upload, we need to download the Excel file below, complete all mandatory fields, save the file to your system, return to the current page, and upload the file using the browse button. I'll show you what that looks like now. Download the Excel file. This is what the file looks like. On the right-hand side is our keys. Blue columns are mandatory, green columns are optional, aqua cells are missing mandatory values, and orange cells have an error that needs correcting. This will appear if that issue occurs. Please note, if no value is entered, usernames will be generated automatically when they're uploaded, as I previously stated when we're uploading individual students. I'll go ahead and show you an example of inputting that information. Once all your information is being put in, you can then go ahead and click Save to your system and return to the previous screen. From there, click Browse and locate your file that you just created, then click Upload. As you can see, those students have now successfully been added to your school subscription. Again, if we need to make any adjustments, we can click the pen and make adjustments to those particular students' profiles If we'd like to identify a particular student, we can do that through the search bar or using our filters at the top of the screen. From there, we can also have a look at the student's profile by clicking their first name and seeing their student history. Starting from the top, you'll see the student's name, their username. That pen icon appears again where we can add or edit additional information. We can also see any books that have been opened, any recordings that have been done, any words that have been saved by that student. Moving down the page, you can see a reading summary of any books that were read by that student, any classes that they're included in, any groups that they have been a part of, and any sessions that they've been included or added to over time. The next tab across we can see is reading history. This will show us a date range. So in the past month, we can see what books the students access on their bookshelf. We can also see particular sets that they've accessed from, and we can see the particular books that they have read. It gives us a couple of key pieces of information as well as to the title, the set, and any other skill sets that they're working on. It also shows us any words that were saved from that particular reading and any recordings that the student did, whether they be from instruction or on their own. When you click on the book itself, it identifies that with a little yellow marker, and then it provides you with a couple of pieces of information on the right-hand side. So it shows you how long that particular book was open for and when the book was opened. So it gives you that date stamp so you can see when the student accessed that reader. It also shows you the particular words that were saved by that student. This may be for multiple reasons, such as they don't understand the definition, their fluency is off, or they're just not quite understanding what that particular word means. So this helps you aid that student moving forward. Then we also have the recordings option. So when we click recordings, we can actually see that particular recording that the student has done. Again, it gives you a timestamp. It gives you how long that recording went for and what page that recording came from.
Tim sat in the pit. Mitts can nap. Nap at the mat, Mitts.
So we can repeat that. We can move on to the next one. If there's another recording available, we can change the volume. And we can also download that file as an audio file to save onto our system. And we can also change that playback speed. So if the student is reading rather fast, we can slow them down. Or if they're going rather slow, we can speed that up as well to see what that looks like. The last feature in our students' profiles is our bookshelf. So in the bookshelf section, this is where we can control what readers the students are able to access at one time. So currently, this student will open their bookshelf. They will only be able to see sets 8 and all the readers out of there. We could also open it up and have the student be able to read all the readers, sets 1 through to 14, or we can narrow it down to a specific skill set that we are working on with that student, that we only want them to see specific readers. So right now we're only allowing them to see set 6, and when next time they open up their bookshelf, they'll only be able to see readers from that particular set. We click next, then it shows us the readers that the students will be able to see. Again, we can narrow this down even further if we want to, if we understand the student likes particular story types or themes, or we want them to focus on non-fiction readers as an example, we can do that as well. And we can remove specific titles from that list. So now we have those titles that we want the student to access. We go click confirm. And now the next time the student opens up their bookshelf, those are the only ebooks that they'll be able to access at that time. Just so you are aware, all the information provided in the students' profiles and on this platform is only accessible to teachers and educators that have access to it. The students themselves do not have access to this information. The only thing that they will be able to see is when they sign in to their bookshelf and see the particular books that they are reading or you've assigned to them. To return to the previous screen, we can click the Students tab at the top here or on the left-hand side of screen as well. The next piece of information we have is again under that actions column, and we have the garbage bin or the trash can, and then we can permanently delete a student's profile from our subscription, freeing up space for additional profiles to be added to our subscription. The next feature that we've provided for the subscription is this tick box on the side. And what that does, once we've ticked a box next to our students, it provides us with these drop-down tabs available. The first one is add to, and we can add a student to a particular session, class, or group. This can be one student or multiple students at one time. And again, we can add them to sessions, classes, or groups. The next feature we have is our student cards. When we click student cards, it will download a PDF file for us that shows us the student's username and password. We can print these off, laminate them, send them home with the students so they're able to access that information at home whenever they need to. The next feature when we click our tick box is remove from subscription. What this does, it allows for us to remove that particular student's profile from the subscription and frees up available licenses. This may be a case when the student no longer requires access to the ebooks or to the subscription itself, and we can remove them. But we may want to bring them back in at a later date. So we just do this by clicking remove from subscription. Are you sure you want to? This student can still be viewed in the not in subscription list. Remove, and that student has now been successfully removed. If that was done by error, that is fine. We can simply click the Nelson Decodable Readers tab. A drop-down will appear. We go to not in subscription, and we can recover that particular student and bring them back to our subscription. As a note, students without an active subscription will be deleted after a year, and their profile and data will not be able to be recovered. To return to the previous screen, we can click the not in subscription, click Nelson Decodable Readers, and return to that previous screen. The next option in our tick boxes is delete from the school. This may be a case when a student has graduated, left to go to another school, and no longer requires the data to be held onto and no longer requires a profile. And we can permanently delete the student from the subscription. And now that student has successfully been deleted. And that is the student section of the Nelson Decodable Readers digital platform.